Today on the Savage Board Gaming channel, Dune Imperium playthrough. So I'm going to try to do a Dune Imperium review here. This is recorded. I was having trouble doing it live on my OBS for some reason. It kept just showing me the Direwolf Digital opening screen, but wouldn't show my gameplay for some reason. So I recorded it separately, and then I'm going to try to talk through it right now. So you'll see my mouse moving around on the screen a lot. It's that's me while I'm playing, so I'll try to tell you what I think I'm talking about at the time. So I'm just telling you what leaders were picked. So we have Baron, Paul, and the Duke out of the 6 we have left. My choices are between the Beast and Helena, right? So I'm still talking about that same thing over and over again. They're both decent choices. Like if you're in a tournament game, you're going to probably pick one of those two that are left. So I wasn't too disappointed. I did play this in 2024's WSBG. I actually was in the first round with June, who won everything. He was the overall winner of WSBG this year. And he did knock me out. I did come in second. But I think our table didn't understand certain things, like you have to work together to kind of stop the leader, a little bit. They wanted to just focus on their own stuff instead of hey, we need to slow him down. So I'm playing as the Beast. He has one advantage. He starts with a spice at the beginning of the game. Now, that's not his only advantage. I'm just saying his beginning strategy. So what I want to do is go to the 2 spice space. And then get those 2 spice and then sell all 3 of my spice for 8 money, basically. What that will allow me to do is next turn, I can then get my Swordmaster right away, which will then give me an advantage of having an extra turn each round from here on out. The only problem with that is I did draw Diplomacy, which is a half a victory point. So by not playing that, I'm kind of setting myself back a little bit. But I think just getting the money to get that Swordmaster is worth it. I'm going to make up so much more by having that extra turn here till the end of the game that it's worth missing a half a victory point for 1 turn. The other thing with the Beast is you want to move up a track, because you definitely want to get an alliance, because his signet ring is whenever you play it, you gain a warrior cube in your barracks. And if you have an alliance, you gain 2 warrior cubes. So you definitely want to push up one of the tracks. The track I like to push up is spacing with him a lot, because then I can get a fold space, which then I can use to get another push up a track. So I can kind of cycle those to rapidly move up some of these tracks. So you see me go to sell melange, and for some reason I almost click confirm, but I have to sell all 3 because I am in combat, but Baron could jump in, I guess, and put more troops in, and then I get nothing. So I wasted Diplomacy. It's what I'm telling you right now. My goal is not to win this combat, even though it would be nice. I just want the money. Because, like I said, I want to get my Swordmaster, but I also need to get my High Council seat. So the quicker I can get that up to 13 total money, the better off I am, right? So I'm going to do my reveal turn. Like I said, I like pushing up the spacing track, a spacing guild track. So that Smuggler's Thwopter is really a good card for me. Because I'm definitely going to get the 2 influence. Reverend Mother's out there. That's a little bit concerning because I don't have the money for it. It's a card that can destroy people. Because what it does is if they play another Bene Gesserit before it, right? It forces everybody to discard 2 of their cards for the round. It's a mean card, to say the least. So I'm just saying how I can easily get up to there. Paul's got 3. Duke's got 4. I have no cards to play, so that's how the battle will end here. So I'll get the 2 money. I'm just showing all the spots maybe like later on in the game you can spend money, because unless you're like Duke, right? Or Ilbon or the Baron, sometimes that money at the end of the game is not as useful after you buy your High Council and your Swordsman, right? Sure, you can use it to go to Mentat space, but there's other like factions that can take that from you, kind of. But it is what it is. You'll see I get like a ton of money in this game, unfortunately. So I waste a whole bunch of money in this game. Solari, I should say. So I'm going to seek allies here. I'm going to go to folded space or fold space. I can do that before getting my Swordmaster because nobody has enough money yet to go to that spot. Only I do. And then what I'll do is I'll use one of my daggers to go there. So I'm just explaining fold space here, how it has all the symbols. So if you've never played this game before, these cards have the little symbols on them. So like my dagger has a green pentagon. That means when I play that card, I can go to one of those spaces, as long as I can pay the requirements that go there, right? So that's what I did now. I paid the 8 money, got my Swordmaster. So that folded space makes it so you can go to any space as long as you have the requirements to do it, right? Which a lot of times I'm going to probably just use it to go up the track again. The space track again. Spacing Guild, which is this red, right? That's spacing here. So I'm just like looking at this combat. I'm thinking to myself, I can't use my green card to go anywhere, so I have to go to reconnaissance, right? I was thinking if I go to, I forget what this space is called, thought in my head, go there, get an intrigue card, and put a soldier in here. If I get an intrigue card that actually gives me swords, then I can push into this combat easily, right? So I do get one that gives me 3 swords. So I'm like, okay, I'm the beast. I'm supposed to be attacking and being aggressive in battle. Let me deploy 3 units into this battle. Only Baron has an intrigue card, so he's the only one that might be able to overtake me. And even if he does, maybe my intrigue card will actually be the difference, right? Maybe I can play that and then still win the battle. Still gives me 2 money. That 2 money, no matter what position I come in, will be enough for my High Council seat. So that's like my thought process. So I'm like, okay, I can do this to get this money. So next turn I can possibly get my High Council seat. Plus I get an intrigue card. Plus I get the Mentat. It was really a good decision here. So I just get an Arrakis Liaison. I really didn't like what was out there. Like, yes, I could have got the smugglers, right? But I didn't want to spend spice on it, so, or whatever it was that takes to play it. So I'm just looking to see who had the Reverend Mother, which was Duke. So I want to keep Bene Gesserit cards away from him because he can't affect us unless he has more Bene Gesserit cards. So I was thinking to myself, should I have gotten the Missionary Protective? But I didn't. I let it stay out there. But he doesn't buy it either. So I'm like, okay, or either I should say. I win the battle. I don't have to spend my intrigue card. So I will have 4 actions next turn. The problem is I need to have enough cards for my reveal phase. So I need to focus on trying to draw cards somehow. So this is round 3. So I've won one combat and came in third in the other one. So I need to play my Thwopter, but I don't have enough in Spacing Guild yet to have it draw cards. So I use my Signet Ring to go to the space to get a soldier right here and a card. So that's what I use my Mentat for. The Mentat's just another worker that if you go to the one space that you get. So now I got folded space, so I can now, or fold space, so I can now go to fold space on the folded space, right? I think that's what the space is called. And then increase my influence on the Spacing Guild track. Then I can play my Smuggler's Thwopter, which will let me draw 2 cards. The good thing about having more actions is if I don't like what's on the row, I can then just, I'm going to be the last one to buy, so maybe other people will buy some of those cards. And then I can have a different selection of instead of what's already here, these cards here. So I only have 2 spaces I can send the Thwopter to. Either I can go to Arakeen, which is that one space with the yellow triangle, or I can go up to the 3 money spot in the top right of the screen. Yeah, secure contract it's called. So I know I just want to have a little bit of money later on in case I want to use a Mentat again. So I go up to the money spot, complaining that they kept taking High Council seat before I could get there. In fact, I am the last person to get my High Council seat, unfortunately. Didn't get the greatest cards till that Diplomacy came out, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. This is not Arakeen. This is Imperial Basin. I keep calling it Arakeen. That's not what it is. Arakeen might be the blue space right above it. And Carthag, I think, is the one with the intrigue card. I'll try to catch it as I float my mouse over it to see. So I get a pretty good card there for winning combats. I go up a spot on one of the influence tracks, and if I spend 2 spice, I can go up 2. It's a pretty good card. What I'm excited about is there's a card called Shifting Alliances, which is in the row. So what Shifting Alliances let you do is you go down on one track, influence track, and then you go up 2 on another one. So it's a good way to catch your opponents off guard, especially if you're like way ahead on one track and you need to catch up in another track. You can then lower that one you're way ahead in 1 and then raise the other one up by 2. In fact, I use that card a lot in this game, this particular game. So the Baron wins. The Baron's the one that was scaring me the most at first, because he has his Master Stroke ability. Give me 1 second here. I got a little bit of a tickle in my throat. There we go. He got his master stroke ability, which is as soon as he pushes in 4 troops, he chose 2 of the alliance tracks, and he'll move up 1 on each immediately. So it's kind of like a surprise move that he can do. And he's up on the Emperor track already. He's right behind me in the spacing track. So those ones I need to worry about. So I'm going to fold space again and go to get water here, I think is what I did, right? Yep. I was very water deprived in this game. Like I didn't go to this spot very often. So I don't know why I was hovering over those cards at the moment. So I'm not trying to determine if I want to go after this battle. So I think what I do is I don't put troops in yet, but I have my signet ring. So when I use my signet ring, then I push all my troops in. I'm also looking at power play there. I have to be cautious of who gets that card. I don't think it's me. It is, I think, Duke gets it. Power play is just you go to one of the alliance spots and you move up twice on the influence track for that alliance, or for that faction. I'm talking about how I need to get spice so I can start doing highliner, because if I can do highliner with the beast, with all these troops I'm going to get from my signet ring, then I can just win a lot of battles, basically. So if you never played Dune Imperium, the whole point is to get to 10 victory points, which are these golden symbols. Don't listen to what I'm saying there, or my mouse there. It's over here by my picture. This 2 here is how many victory points I have. So once you get to 10, that triggers endgame. Or at the end of 10 rounds, it ends game. Whoever has the highest amount of points wins. The tiebreaker is spice. So getting spice at the end is really good also. But I'd rather win the battle if possible. You know how it is. So I'm going here, get the Mentat. I think maybe I was talking about how I'm trying to get up to 9 points. But I was like also complaining that they had blocked me off at the High Council again. I am playing against AI opponents right now because I don't have the expansion yet, which is the Rise of Ix, which you need to play in ranked matches. So I really couldn't, like, I could go into like a random game, with somebody and play, but I found out that the AI is actually pretty good. It's not like complete trash. And I'm playing on hard mode for all the AI, so once again, I see a card I would like to get, that 4 cost card, which lets me spend money and then move up on a track. And in this game, I have lots of extra money. So I am joining this combat. I do have an intrigue card that gives me 3 swords. I throw in 4 troops because I can just... That's the beast's power, is just throwing troops at people, right? So... I still have one more action. I think I go get spice. Yeah. Maybe not. Oh, I see the Chom directorships. I don't spend my last action. I go buy that card. So I reveal early, which you can do. So on your turn, you either play a card and go to a spot, or you can reveal your cards early and then buy. I need all the money or all the influence that's in my hand. So I just end it early. And what this does, this card lets me move up on each of the tracks by one. So you'll see each one of my green influence cubes move up. That gives me some flexibility with that shifting alliance card now. I'm in the lead right now. Paul decides to pass also, so I win this combat. So I have control Carthag, which means anytime anybody goes to that spot, I gain a money, or Solari as they're called. I'm going to go up on spacing. I think that's what I go up on. I'm really thinking about it, what I'm doing here. I also could be like discussing what I'm thinking about also, because I did record sound with this, but I wanted to be on screen with everybody while I'm going over the game, so I decided just not to use that audio. Okay, so I have shifting alliances, so I need spice to do that. So I play my Smuggler's Thwopter onto the 2 space here, gain 3 spice. I get to draw some cards. So that's why that Thwopter is so good if you're going up spacing, is you just constantly are drawing more cards, which will help you do more things, have more buy power during the reveal phase. It's almost like required to go get Spice Must Flow is to be able to draw more cards. So if you can do that, it's great. Like a lot of people, see how Paul just played Lady Jessica. Let me go back here and we'll pause it real quick. All right, let's go back here, right there. So Lady Jessica. This is a really good card, right? You go up on influence when you buy it. It costs 7 though, and you get to draw 2 cards. My Thwopter was much cheaper, and if I'm already planning on going up this track, to me it's almost as good as this. It just limited where it can go, right? I have to go on yellow. So it's almost as good, and it's a lot cheaper. So Shifting Alliance is going to be played right now. I'm going to go get my High Council seat finally, as I'm showing you, I'm going to go down on spacing and then go up twice on Fremen and get that alliance. And the reason why I'm saying that is that I need to get water more. Am I going up on Fremen? I'll get a water. So I go down on spacing. Go up on Fremen. The other thing about going down on spacing is I went up, got that 3 money. I now can go back up again on spacing and get that 3 money again, because I went down. Like I was saying, is I want to get the Highliner. I know I'm talking about how Duke has power play. Paul's gathering up some cubes. This is not really a battle I'm interested in. I already have 2 intrigue cards, so I don't really need 2 more because it's dangerous to have more than 3. Because if people go to that first Bene Gesserit spot, which is, I forget what it's called, but whoever has more than 3 secrets, it's called. Anybody that has more than 3 has to give it to whoever goes, give a card randomly to whoever goes there. So now I'm in a good position here. I'm going to be able to go up on the Bene Gesserits to gain a alliance token, which gives me a victory point. I could go up in spacing to get an alliance token. I can try to stay ahead of Duke so I don't lose my alliance for Fremen. That's what I'm discussing right now, it looks like. Like, I gotta get this to the top, the track, before Duke passes me. So I'm looking at this. I think I take the voice, even though it's not the greatest card for me. I was thinking about taking shifting alliances again, but like, that's a little bit overkill. And you have to have a really good spice generation engine going. I'd rather spend my spice on Highliner once I build up to that 6. So I take that, and then space travel comes out, which is really good. Space travel lets me draw a card and go to the Space and Guild alliance spaces or faction spaces. It's like, do I waste 2 money? Do I need more cards? I don't need more cards, right? I think I was just checking how much influence space travel gives me. Very happy about that I seen the Baron play Private Army. Means it's not going to be played against me. So this is a battle worth getting into right now. You can get 2 faction bumps of your choice. So you have to choose 2 different factions, but still, if I win that, I can bump up spacing and Bene Gesserit. So I'm definitely going to try to get more troops right now. I have my signet ring ready to go. I have a dagger in my hand. So all these things like indicate I should probably go in the battle. And even if I don't, second place is pretty decent. Getting a water and 2 money. So I go there. I'm not going to deploy units yet. Probably should have pushed some out there, though. That's the problem, because I'm running out of spaces where I can put out troops. I could go to the 2 spice location, but I want to use my signet ring, obviously. That's what I'm trying to figure out, which Um, which card do I play and where do I go? I think I do this to reshuffle and draw a card. So now I have 2 Dune the Desert Planets, not really helping me all that much. I also went there, I think, also because then I could go to Carthage and not worry about anything. Think about playing Water of Life, which I do. Lets me draw 3 cards. Just wanted to see what I was getting. I still didn't push out troops. Another mistake. I kept thinking I want to play that Signet Ring and then push out troops, but here's the problem with that. If I go to Carthage, right? Well, no, it's not that bad of an idea. Like, if I go to Carthage, I can push out all 4. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. If I don't, I can use diplomacy to go to Hardy Warriors, which is this space right here. But I go to Carthage, definitely, here. So I want to see if I can get get another card here. So when I win a conflict, I gain 3 spice. So I do this. I deploy all 4 units here. I still have my intrigue card. Nothing's really that great, but I do end up getting Duncan because I have 8 money, or 8 buying power, I should say, influence, to get cards. I thought about the gun thwopter first, but then I was like, nope, let's not do that. Let's get Duncan here. Just gives me 2 straight swords, right? Then Guild Ambassador came out, which is really a good card. Let's go back there and I'll show you that card. It did not let me pause. What's going on here? Play. So what it does is when it's played, I can bump myself up on spacing or get 2 spice. Then if I reveal it instead of playing it, like during my reveal turn where I get on my influence to buy cards, I can spend 3 spice to get a victory point, basically. So ugh. Pass here. Now, unfortunately, I think Paul plays some cards here, if I'm correct. Nope, I won. I know there's a fight that Paul passes me up. Yep. Yep. Get my 3 spice. So I'm almost up to where I can do Highliner again, but I think what happens is I get my shifting alliance again, so I spend 2 more spice, so I'm back down to 3. Uh, I'm looking at all these cards. I'm like, I could do space travel. I could do smuggler thwopter. So I do smuggler thwopter because it's an easier card for other people to block my spaces with. Thought about using the voice to block a space off, but I figured drawing the cards is more important. There's my shifting alliance again. I'm debating whether or not to use that. I'm talking about how I'd use that poison snooper in order to draw a card to get enough influence to gain a spice must flow. So if I'm like at 8 and I need 1 money, I would use that poison snooper right then and there during the reveal phase to get another influence and then be able to buy that card, because spice must flow give you an instant victory point. They cost 9 influence, so I go there because there wasn't any other really good spaces to go for me. So I go down on spacing again, which caused me some anxiety later. I go up on Fremen. And I lock in that alliance, right? So I'm just looking at how much influence I'm going to have. I have 8 because I have my High Council seat plus 6 in my hand. So I think the Baron used his master stroke here. I missed when that happened, but he moved up on spacing and the Emperor track. And I happened to go here while something was happening, and I didn't see what happened. Talking about using that. And I'm talking about what's the odds of me getting exactly what I need, right? So I use the voice here, I think. So the Baron used Shifting Alliance on me, which is why he's so high on the Spacing Guild. So that kind of like made me a little bit salty at the time. Like, how dare you take my Spacing Guild Alliance off me? Here's the reality of it, though, is you have to assume that something like that might happen, and you better have a backup plan. So I already have 2 alliance tokens, so it's not that bad for me to lose one of the 3 that I could have had, right? It's not like game ending. Like if I only like focused on one alliance track and they took the only alliance token I had, yes, that would hurt a lot. But I have two that I have that they can't take one of them away, so. I was looking to see if somebody had a card, but whatever I thought they had. Oh, I was looking to see where the Reverend Mother was. It's in his deck at the moment. So I do use the Poison Snooper here because I'm at 8. I draw it. I use this because it's the thing, but I gain a victory point. So it was a half a victory point to gain a full victory point, right? That's why I sacrificed there. Just looking at my cards, see what I could potentially draw next round. I'm not worried about the Duke winning this combat. Like, what's he going to go up on that's really going to hurt me all that much? Maybe he goes up on spacing, but I doubt it. We're starting to get into the double victory points here for winning combats. Still don't have enough to go to Highliner, which is very disappointing. I'm trying to determine if it's worth spending the 3 on the Guild Ambassador, right? But then I realized I lost my alliance with the Spacing Guild, so I can't use that right now. So Signet Ring to Arakeen, or to the Mentat will work also, right? Pop my 2 troops. Get Duncan, Idaho. I'm thinking this is a good time to do a combat for me. The problem is when I used the Signet Ring there, I went to a place where I couldn't push out damage tokens, or not damage tokens, warrior cubes out into the combat for my barracks. So, yep. So I lost my alliance, so I need to somehow get that back. Getting Imperial Basin back is really good for me because then I can use that to gain a lot of spice without spending water. I see Paul moving in. I'm like, great. Last person I want in there. But the good thing is there is very good second and third place rewards. Now 5 spice is really good. Just trying to see what he had played. There's his revealed factions up here, which is what I was looking at, right? That was his master stroke that he did there. Deploy units, push in 3. Now my goal is just to push in my remaining troops, so I'm going to go to Arakeen, or not Arakeen, Imperial Basin, which is that space right there. I was thinking this is all the different things I can do, right? Then I realized I could go to the green space up top for the 4 money to get 4 troops. Now they won't go into the combat; they'll go into my barracks, but that'll set me up for the rest of the game. So I go here, I gain 2 spice, right? Is that how I did it? No, I go up on the Spacing Guild. So I wanted to be in position to take back that alliance token. Rapid mobilization is a terrible card for me to see. Because the Duke just pushed out all of his fighters. Okay, now I'm going to go to Imperial Basin. Deploy units. Put in the 2 that I can. I have 4 for next round, where everybody else is kind of like they've spent all their warriors. I don't think I win this one, though, because I think Paul passes me. It's the one where Paul passes me, which is not great. Means everybody's up within striking distance of winning. I'm wondering if I should buy anything right now. And I think I skip buying, right? Because to me, there really wasn't anything worth it. Yeah. I'm going to pass. Oh, Paul loses 3 troops. Maybe I do win this one. All I know is I didn't want the Baron to win it. I do win this one. Maybe it was a different game I was thinking where Paul passed me up. So, okay, I'm up to 9 out of 10. I do have some cards up my sleeve to win. Another point or 2 here. So I'm going to save that. I want to play my Smuggler's Thwopter. For some reason, I thought I could put a yellow card on a blue space. I was struggling there for a second. So I just go to Imperial Base and get 2 spice. Draw 2 cards. I get Shifting Allegiance is what I was really looking for there. I'm going to throw in some troops in the battle. So I need to definitely do Shifting Alliance here. I was really like wondering which one I should play. So I do Shifting Alliances definitely here. I save the Guild Ambassador because see, I should go to that 2 spot. I don't know what the big thought process was. Right there is where I should go. Okay, that's where I go. Good. So I do shifting alliance. I move down on Bene Gesserit because there's no way I can take that one back. Go up on spacing. I take a point away from Baron. I've hit 10, which triggers endgame. So unless somebody takes away a point from me, which they really can't at this point, I'm going to, the game's over. Now I can keep this guy, this Guild Ambassador, to the end, and then gain a victory point off of his alliance ability. So that's what I'm really going for here. And I'm really trying to figure out what plays do I have left that matter. Like, I don't have any cards that really can do much for me. I can't go to the other spice location. I could go to the 3 money, but money doesn't mean anything. Sure, I would like to win this combat. Because there's a lot of like end game scoring cards out there that could possibly pop up at the end. But I'm going to be at 11. 11's pretty good. Okay, my turn. I think I reveal because there's really nothing else I can do. Or maybe I just go to the 3 just for the fun of it. Yeah, reveal. So I spend the 3 spice to get a victory point. So I'm at 11 now. I was worried about the Baron for some reason. The Baron's not the scary person out there. Paul is. It ends up being. Gets an intrigue card. Draws a card. Baron gets a spice must flow, pushes them up to 9. So at this point while I was playing, I was still worried about Baron winning this battle somehow. He does have 3 intrigue cards. So he could have an endgame scoring on top of it, which would push him to 12, which would beat me, but I don't think there's anything else I could do, right? I mean, I pushed my deck to the limit. So Paul gains another victory point. So now he's at 8. I throw in my troops. There's no reason not to. I just want to stay ahead of the Baron and get that second place points there. I felt like if I got those 2 spice, then I pretty much have won. Because even if Paul wins this and has an end game scoring card, if we both have 11, I'll have more spice than he does, right? So this is where Paul passed me up. I kept talking about it. It was the last battle of the game. So take intrigue in case I can get an endgame scoring and 2 spice. I get an ambush card, which is useless. So the Baron did have a endgame scoring, which pushes him up 1. Paul had 1 endgame scoring, which pushes him up 1. But I had the tiebreaker with spice, so I win. So I really like Dune Imperium. I do have the newer one, Uprising. I played it a few times. I just don't get a chance to play it as much as I would want to, and it is the version they're using in the World Series of Board Gaming this year. So I'm not sure if I'm going to play it or not until I get more practice at it. But there's no digital version to play, which is really disappointing, you know? I wish they would have made that digital instead of this. Um, but it is what it is, right? Um, yeah, it's a really great game. You have to build your strategies based on your starting character, which I think a lot of people have trouble. Like I know my nephew, like he's played it, he likes it, but he's like I can't win at it, so like, and I keep doing worse and worse. I think because he comes in with the same strategy every time instead of building his strategy for that particular um, leader that he's using, you know. So I think if he would really like sit down and maybe like he could probably watch some videos on how to play each leader and at least get a base idea how to play. I mean, it's not going to win you the game just following a guide. You still need to be able to react to different situations. So, but yep, that is Dune Imperium. Uh, Hopefully, I can get the expansion sooner or later. Just like I said, it's money's tight right now, so I don't think I can afford it. So until I do, I'll just play against AI. Once I do get it, I will jump into rank to see if I'm good enough to keep playing that. But until next time, have a nice day. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments if you have any other suggestions on this game or other games you'd like to see on this channel. There's also a playlist on the left side of the screen that you can click to see other videos I have made. And until next time, keep on playing.